of his speech is Get More from Toastmasters. 5 to 7 minutes, Ron.
How y'all doing? Everybody all right this morning?
Good.
What a glorious day. Last week I was the evaluator, a general evaluator, and I mentioned that you'd get more out of Toastmasters if you attended more frequently. Certainly that's true. And I would encourage all of y'all, I thought, I'm going to just give a talk about get more out of Toastmasters in general, but certainly attending regularly is one of those things that will do that. But another thing that you need to do to get more out of Toastmasters is you understand the spirit of Toastmasters. The whole purpose of Toastmasters, and wow, it's right here on this little purple card, but the whole purpose of Toastmasters is to make you better. Nobody's out to get you. Nobody's out to put you down. Your evaluator is not the bad guy. The timer is not the enemy. And the purpose of coming here is to learn to speak. Well, why do we want to learn to speak? Because you can convert it into cash in your career. That's why. You want to learn to speak better because opportunities will come along where you can do that. And if you learn here, and the timer's a good example. At our Toastmasters Club in Florida many years ago, we had our timer was nasty. I mean, when you hit 2 minutes on the table topics, he would turn on the red light, and at 2 minutes and 10 seconds, you got a standing ovation. And we invited some politicians to come, and we told them they could speak for 2 minutes. We had 4 of them there during this time of year. First guy stands up at the end of 2 minutes and 10 seconds. He got a standing ovation. He was right in the middle. He was just getting started. Second guy, we shut him up at 2 minutes. The third guy figured it out. And the fourth guy quit talking at 1:30. Because see, when you go out to talk to people, say you're invited to a Rotary Club, you're invited to an office to put on a presentation, and they want you to talk for 5 minutes, they don't mean 6 minutes. They've got an agenda. And if you drone on for 10 minutes, you will not be invited back. That's just the way it is. Everything about Toastmasters is learning what you can use out on the street. By the way, as you all know, I've kind of established a reputation here at Toastmasters. It's not Ron, but it's Ron and his bell. Tim has threatened me with physical violence over the bell. However, have y'all noticed, Tim is not quite as prolific with his ahs as he used to be. And that's the whole purpose of that. The ah tabulator is not out to get you. Everything is just to make you better. You'll learn to write your introduction, which I didn't do today. If you write your own introduction, you'll get a good introduction. If you don't, you'll get Ron Climer for 5 to 7 minutes. So do that. Also, hang around long enough to get the benefit from this. Toastmasters is not a 6-month program. You don't join in January and graduate in June. You join in January and you graduate 25 years later, maybe. That's just the way it is. You always get better at Toastmasters. You always learn at Toastmasters. You don't have to be speaking to learn. You can learn when you're the evaluator. You can learn when you're the ah tabulator. You can learn when you're just sitting there in the audience. By the way, learning to be a good audience is a worthwhile thing. Learning to be a good audience. And most important, we say that we teach speaking and leadership skills. Not just speaking skills, but speaking and leadership skills. Well, the best way, the easiest way, the cheapest way to learn leadership skills is volunteer for a leadership position. So when it comes around in June and somebody says, oh, we need somebody to be the sergeant at arms. We need somebody to take over as whatever. I joined Toastmasters in Florida 25 years ago, and after I'd been in the club 3 weeks, they announced that the treasurer had left the club. He'd moved to another city. And would somebody please volunteer? Well, I'd only been there a couple of weeks, but I meekly went up to the president and said, I guess I could probably do that job if nobody else did. I feel to be 6 or 8 people clamoring for the job. Well, needless to say, you're in, Rod. And I was the treasurer. And I kept getting reelected for 2 more terms. And if you want to get to know your fellow club members, be the treasurer. You learn an awful lot. We had a deal where you had to pay for breakfast every week. It was like $1.50 to pay for breakfast. And it's amazing how many people want to try to scrape by on $1.50. Of course, that went up as the years went by. But anyway, hang around long enough, become an officer, get here every week, and you'll get more out of Toastmasters. And that's what we all want for you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Stan, could you give us 90 seconds?
Yes, sir.